The last trip we took was to the south of Puerto Vallarta, so today we're going the opposite direction, to the seaside resort community that makes up Jaltemba Bay. After winding through the streets of PV, take Highway 200 north through a rather unscenic stretch near Bucerias. When the road veers away from the bay about 45 minutes north of Puerto Vallarta, it also narrows down to 2 lanes, and if you get stuck behind trucks, it can be a very slow drive through the jungle highway. But eventually it will widen out, and when it does, you'll see the turnoff to the left for Los Ayala, or Rincón de Guayabitas. We've been on this part of the highway dozens of times before, but had no idea that 3 blocks away are a couple of resort towns that draw thousands of tourists each year. The largest of these 2 towns is Guayabitos, kind of a throwback to the type of beach town you would find in the U.S. 40 years ago. In fact, it reminded me of Santa Cruz, California back then, but without the boardwalk. Hungry, we first headed to lunch at a restaurant called Restaurant Pineda, right on the shore. And as you watch the fishermen head out for the fresh catch and the tourists just out to catch a few rays, your meal is being cooked over an open fire pit. Quesadillas were amazing, as was the shrimp octopus wrap, slow cooked over the fire. After lunch, time for a hike, so we took the coast road a bit south to Los Ayala. A rustic little Mexican town, we had heard about a secluded beach here called Playa de Beso, or Kissing Beach. We parked the car on a dirt road on the south side of Los Ayala, took an alley to the main beach, and then spotted the trail leading over the hill. After an easy 10-minute hike with spectacular views along the way, we came upon Kissing Beach, an ecological preserve. Other than the restaurant, which is often closed weekdays, a few sand crabs, and a few other visitors, we had the beach all to ourselves. It was a great find and a perfect place to relax on a sunny afternoon. On the way back to Guayabitos, we detoured to another town 5 miles north. With a population of about 9,000, La Peñita is the largest on the bay.
Hola.
Hola. Hola.
¿Qué tal?
Muy bien. Muy guapo nosotros.
It is a friendly, working-class town that is known more for its stores and amenities than being a resort. So as the day wore on, we headed back into Guayabitos. Keep in mind, this is a resort town, and it caters mostly to nationals. And as such, there are lots of bungalows to rent, as well as a large number of hotels. Now, you won't find any of the large resort chains here, the Sheratons and Marriotts and Holiday Inns that take up space on the beach in PV. These are mostly modest accommodations, like the Paraíso de Pescador, where we ended up for the equivalent of $60 US per night. For longer stays, there are also many colorful homes and condos available. There's definitely a Mediterranean feel here, though not a Monte Carlo or Cannes type feel. For dinner, we were told the best place in town was the one perched on top of the hillside overlooking Jaltemba Bay, Vista Guayabitos Restaurant. Indeed, the view from above is spectacular, with a clear shot out to the 2 islands in the bay and the colorful shoreline of the town below. The ribs and grilled smoked mahi-mahi were outstanding and a lot more reasonable than similar meals in Puerto Vallarta restaurants, which in some cases have become very pricey. The total cost for the 2 of us for this overnight excursion from PV, $20 for gas, $110 for food, but then we ate at some really good places, and $60 for the hotel. All total, $190. And yes, we will come back. If you'd like more information, you can visit www.jaltembabaylife.com. Happy traveling in Mexico.